Howdy gamers, old gamer guy here. If you've been watching my channel, you know I got a PSVR2 for Christmas and I'm really enjoying it. And of course I bought a few games, so lately on the channel we have been making our way through those titles. And here we have another good one, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. So this will be about an hour of my first hour of gameplay. Very edited.
I'm ready.
And you can see I'm creating my character here. We have a male and a female voice, and we have male and female arms. And then you can choose your skin tone. So this might actually be a good game for me to turn on my microphone and let you hear me nervously talking to myself as I walk around. I don't know. I haven't tried that yet. The microphone on the PSVR2 is not the greatest, but never mind that. There is a tutorial. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but here is a pretty cool VR mechanic. The zombies can grab your arm, and you have to actually shake your arm to shake them off. But now we're going to jump into the story, and we start off at a campfire in the swamp.
Well, I'll be damned. The tourist in the flesh. Oh, stories about you been buzzing all over the bayou. Word has even reached Nola. Yeah.
This game obviously has a much more cartoonish style than Resident Evil, but VR has a way of kind of fooling your brain into believing that you are in this world, and it works really well with this game also. Your old buddy here in the swamp is going to keep talking about the city, but here we are actually arriving, and this is one of those opening sequences like often happens in Call of Duty, where you're just kind of sitting and looking around as things happen when you roll by, or in this case when you float by. And this type of sequence works really, really well in VR, because I can turn around in the boat and kind of look back over my shoulder, and VR really does sell the illusion that you are here, even though this is quite cartoonish. And this sequence is kind of introducing the different factions in the game, I think. There is, I guess, a ruling class up in that tower in the distance, and then we have some factions that are fighting over supplies that the government has brought into the area, but then of course the zombie apocalypse overwhelmed everybody, so all of these weapons and medical supplies are just sitting there, and it's all just priceless. And this guy wants to split it with you. He wants to go 50-50 with you, so he wants you to meet him at his base. And so that's what we're on our way to do here. We're on our way to meet our old friend from the swamp, and we are floating through a very happy scene here. Obviously some dead bodies in the water, and some of those bodies are going to suddenly become animated. There was a gun in the boat, but the boat is sinking. Oh no, game over. No, it's the title sequence. We're going to get a few credits here. There's the title, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. And now it's time to get started. We're going to wake up on the shore, day one, late evening, and of course my very first move is to just turn around and look at the environment. I think by default the game has snap turning on, but I turned the smooth turning option on. But other than that, I think everything else is pretty much set to default here. But it's time to press forward into the cemetery. Doors open automatically in Resident Evil 8, unless they are locked, of course, but in this game you have to actually reach out with your hand and grab the knob and pull the door open. And now I need to reach with my left hand over to the right side of my chest and get out my journal. And yeah, as you can imagine, those mechanics are very, very immersive. VR is all about being immersed in the world. So the more stuff that they let you actually do yourself, the more immersive it is. So I crouched, and now I'm grabbing a durable screwdriver. So the weapons do eventually break, much like Dying Light or Dead Island. You can flip the weapon around in your hand, which is cool. You have to actually store it on your belt, which is cool. To climb over things, you put your hands out and hit the button on both controllers and then push down with your hands to climb over. But never mind that. We're about to kill our first zombie in the game. Very, very exciting and very, very immersive. Once again, you're going to hear me use that word a lot. But you have to actually, of course, destroy the brain. And I didn't do a great job right there. But as you can see, actually piercing the skull requires range of motion. It does not require a particularly fast movement. So, yeah, my arm is getting bloody. We can pick up a picture here on the ground and actually turn it over in our hands and look at it. Once again, very immersive. There were a few other zombies in the area and a few other items, but I am pressing forward here. We're skipping forward a bit.
Fool. Such a damn fool.
Well, so much for our partnership with this guy. My first reaction was to shine a light in his face, but he starts talking and he's dying, so we can't save him. But he tells us about a child. It sounds like a little girl and the girl's mother, and he wants us to help them, and he wants to transfer his 50% of our deal over to them. And so that's what he's asking me to do here. And unfortunately, then he dies. And then, unfortunately, he reanimates. Oh, man. I don't want to use up the durability of my weapon, but I don't want to leave my friend here in a zombified state either. So, damn it, I'm going to do what has to be done. You have to actually shake your flashlight to keep it functioning. But you'll notice several times in this video that the weapon gets stuck in the zombie skull, and you have to actually pull it out, which is a nice touch.
Time to make an example of the old man. We have let his transgressions slide for too long.
It sounds like we might be up against Ruth from Ozark, which is kind of a scary prospect. But a little bit further in the cemetery, we find the old man's base of operations, and we have some crafting tables here. On the right side is just kind of general gear, and we have some notes telling us how all this works. And then there in the middle, we have more weapon-oriented upgrades, and we have some ammunition here, which I'm trying to put in my backpack, but it actually goes on my belt. So I'm going to pick this up and put that in my belt. And then the left crafting table has to do with health and stamina. So there's food and potions and things like that up here. Upgrades for your bandages, things like that. And there are different recipes for these things, and we can track those recipes. I'm not sure if you actually have to cook anything in this pot here because I haven't actually done it, but there are items in the area. Here are some arrows. There actually was a bow in the area, but I didn't find it until later. But here I am checking out the bus. We've got a radio here that needs to be repaired. There's a missing microphone and a few other missing components. And we have a place over here on the left to hang our weapons. I didn't put anything here during the video, but later on I put an axe on the wall there. We've got a bunch of items, including a note from the old man.
an inkling, and by God, I was spot on. The reserve, it's out there. It exists.
The reserve is a fortified bunker, I think, that the old man is looking for, and that's where the stockpile of weaponry and medical supplies is, and that's what we're both looking for, and that's what we were going to split 50-50. There's a map on the wall, which I thought might be a fast travel map, but that's not what it is. But to save our game and to begin the next day, we have to actually take a drink from this flask. Presumably we're getting drunk and going to sleep. Now it says available supplies have dwindled and the dead have increased in number. So that's intriguing. But it's morning. We have a bunch of items there on the shelf, and you're going to be picking up items, and you're going to be salvaging a lot of them for scrap materials. And then you use those materials to actually make things. That box on the left is where those materials are stored, I imagine. It's hard to see, but there are some words there on the inside of the lid, and that's kind of your totals for the various things you're going to pick up. But here I'm taking some things out of my backpack, some things that I found in the cemetery, a shoe and some dirty bandages, and so I'm getting some scrap materials out of all that. There's some stuff on the shelf there too. There's actually a good amount of stuff in the area to salvage, but I'm not showing a lot of that, just in the interest of keeping the video a bit shorter. But you can see it is daytime now, and it's time to head out. But mysteriously, there are some items here on the table, some food, which will restore stamina, and then we have some meds, which will restore health. And there are a few other items in the area. This little doll is not actually junk. It's just a set of dolls that you can find. I assume it will unlock something once I find them all. But if we keep exploring, we find a little boat over here, along with an item or two. But here is where the fast travel will take place. It looks like we only have one destination for now, but eventually the path will branch. I like the atmosphere in this game, that moody organ music, and also the barking dogs and the other atmospheric sounds. It's all very immersive. But here we are in the first area. And we're going to start to explore, and you will see right away that there are going to be items all over the place to find. I'm going to get out my journal here, and I'm going to use my right hand to switch between the tabs. Most of the VR mechanics in this game work very well, like reaching up to get your weapon off of your shoulder or get your backpack off your other shoulder. But here you can see that this book is sort of sticking to my hand a little bit. It's a little bit awkward, but not too bad. But here you can see we're supposed to repair the radio, and there is a part for the radio in a blue mansion somewhere around here. So we need to find a blue mansion. Time is passing, by the way. There is no visual indicator other than the daylight changing. You can see there are several different pages of items in the backpack. You can also just drop the item in that space in the backpack where it says auto, or you can lift the item to your left shoulder and then just drop it, which is of course much quicker. But look at that. There's a person over there. Oh my gosh, are they friendly? Are they going to kill me? They're not doing anything. It could be a zombie. It could be... No, they look like a real person. Okay, I'm going to go check it out.
My husband, he's turned. He begged me not to let it happen. But I just couldn't. My husband, He's turned.
Uh-oh,
He
here's
begged
our
me
first
not to let it
technical
happen,
glitch.
but I
Not a
just
huge
couldn't pull
deal,
the
but
trigger.
yeah, she
It was
just kind
all
of
I had
kept
left.
starting over,
I hurt
starting
my
her
husband.
dialogue again and again
I hurt my
until
husband.
I was able
He's turned.
to skip the
He begged
dialogue
me.
with the triangle button.
I will put him to rest.
You will? Thank you. That is so kind. Here, take this key. I locked Reuben in a room, second floor of the Blue Mansion, just up the street. I noticed your watch. Looks like you've got the alarm in sync with the chiming bells that rile up the walkers every day. Smart. Don't want to be caught out in the open when this place is overrun by the dead. Oh, and
Yeah, so she just
one
made
last
reference to the
request.
time changing, and
Ruben's
eventually
band.
these
If you
bells
could
are going to
retreat, it
start
would mean so
chiming,
much to
which
me.
will of course rile up the undead. So yeah, I think you got the gist of what she wants me to do, even though we didn't get to hear her say it. She wants me to destroy her zombified husband and get his wedding ring back. And as luck would have it, he is in that same blue mansion that we are going to. But we have to make our way there, and we have to get through a few zombies. I'm not going to show every zombie that I killed on the way over to the mansion, but I will show a few of them, and I'll just generally say that I really enjoyed my my very tense journey over there. This is good zombie fun. I'm a big fan of zombie stuff in general, and I really like this. You have to actually hold up the food and drink to your mouth to eat or drink it. And I accidentally ate some dog food right there, which had a negative impact on my health. I think I got a little bit of stamina out of it, but it negatively impacted my health. But never mind that. Here's another zombie, and here's another slight technical glitch, I guess. The zombie gets not exactly stuck, but a little bit stuck on the environment right there. They get really slow, and then they make it around. My screwdriver finally broke, so I need to get into my backpack, and I have a couple of knives in there. But while I'm doing this, I know there's a zombie ahead of me, but I'm also hearing zombie noises behind me. So in the direction I came from, that I cleared of zombies, more zombies are appearing, which is cool. So you have to be on your guard. Right there, my knife was stuck in the zombie skull. Oh, I didn't kill him fast enough, so he hurt me just a little bit right there. You can see my arm is getting bloodier and bloodier. And it is quite tense when more than one zombie is coming at you at a time. But I was able to successfully take these out as we make our way up into this street. Slowly looking around. You get a sound when the zombies see you, so you get an indicator. Here I am betraying my amateur musician status. I'm actually in the market for a keyboard. Here I am drinking some soda, which is going, again, to have a negative health impact, but I get a little stamina out of it. But look at that. It's the Blue Mansion. I just randomly found it. The game at least gives you the illusion that you're in a big open area, but maybe it's not as open as I think it is. Speaking of more open world VR, I saw a rumor recently that Rockstar hired some VR developers for Grand Theft Auto 6, so I can't even imagine what that would be like. And then what was the other rumor I saw recently? Oh, Metro. Metro is a very, very good post-apocalyptic sci-fi series, and the rumor is that the next entry will be in VR, so that's very exciting. That would be awesome. But I think this game is awesome, actually. Back when Walking Dead first premiered on TV, I remember having conversations with a coworker about zombie apocalypse and how we would deal with it. And this game really puts you in that situation, you know, in a fun way. So I think I am really, really going to enjoy this. You heard my watch beep right there, and that is the only other indicator that time is passing. But we need to get moving here. We need to climb this pipe, and to do that we use our hands. So I am sitting here on the couch playing this game, but you reach out with your hand, pull down, and then reach up with your other hand, pull down. Now I'm up here and I have to reach across, grab a hold, and reach across, grab a hold. And of course the whole time my stamina meter is dropping. And this is yet again another very cool VR mechanic that works really, really well. So here we are in the Blue Mansion. And our stamina is coming back. I don't know if you can hear that outside. There's a big garbage truck out in the street. Hopefully you can't hear that. One of my pet peeves about VR is not being able to interact with things. And so, of course, in a game like this, those types of objects are all over the place. That is a broken shotgun there on the floor. So it's just more scrap to turn into scrap materials back at camp. But this exploration is really, really fun, really, really immersive. Just looking around in VR is a satisfying thing. With PSVR2, I used to load up Skyrim, and I had played the game extensively before getting VR, so I didn't really feel like going all the way through it again. But I did load it up and just kind of walk around, and I would go into the taverns and just stand there and watch the people and listen to the people and listen to the music. It's just a very, very immersive experience, and of course this is not quite so relaxing as a Skyrim tavern, but it is a lot of fun. Over here is a locked door, but that woman gave us a key, so I can reach into my backpack, get this key, and use it easily. And I'm going to open this door, but then I'm going to realize that another zombie is coming up those stairs over there. So I got a momentarily nervous right here because I thought, oh my gosh, what if more zombies come out of that door? But that didn't happen, thankfully. And now it's time to destroy that woman's zombie husband. It just occurred to me right now as I was watching the video, but that character looked like Lee from the Telltale Walking Dead games, which is a very different sort of a series, but very cool if you've never checked it out. But we have basically reached the end of my first hour of gameplay, and I am really, really enjoying this. I don't know if I'm going to play this and Resident Evil 8 at the same time, but I am very impressed by this game. What's coming up next on the channel? There is that new mode for The Last of Us Part 2. There is another VR game that I purchased that I want to show on the channel. You never know what you're going to see on my channel here, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.